Shirayuki, or in English, Snow White with the Red Hair. Now, I wonder why I like this story of a girl who's viewed as exotic and beautiful because of her gorgeous red hair and wins the love of an awesome, kind, badass prince. And I'm a little bit biased on this one actually. So the main plot of this fairy tale shoujo romance is Shirayuki flees her home kingdom to avoid becoming a concubine, and on the way she meets up with the prince of a neighboring kingdom. His name is Zen, and because she's an herbalist, she decides that she's going to become an official court herbalist in his castle, and class-defying, super cute romance ensues. Now, some of these works I recommended transcend the genres of anime, but this is pure shoujo. This is your girly romance with all the trappings thereof. It's your wish fulfillment, you've got the spunky heroine, you've got the dreamy guy, and I would say it fits perfectly into that slot, but it's also very endearing and has its own charm to it. This is definitely a light story that would appeal to teenage girls or older women who like a little bit of light fairy tale romance. So even though this fits in very well with the anime shoujo genre and all the tropes that go with it, where it really stands out is the relationship between the two leads, Shirayuki and Zen, because shoujo has been very criticized for promoting unrealistic romantic expectations and even some very harmful expectations, such as the idea that it's romantic to stalk someone, it's romantic to always be sniping at each other and disrespecting each other. A lot of the conflict is based on miscommunications and people hiding their feelings, whereas in this one, a lot of the conflict comes from class expectations and outside forces that want the two not to be together, because Shirayuki is seen as kind of adult gold digger and she kind of has to prove that she's not. And I think what really stands out in this story is how well these two communicate with each other, because Shirayuki and Zen are both very forthright with their feelings, they're very down to earth, they don't hide their feelings just as a plot device or anything like that. And there's also this very relatable element where a lot of the story focuses on balancing romance and your work life or your work responsibilities, because Zen is the prince and Shirayuki is an herbalist, and they both sometimes have to step into dangerous situations, or they're called upon to use their skills, and they sort of have to balance, well, I want to protect you, I want to keep you safe, but then maybe you're the only one who can help in this situation and the people need you. So that actually seems like a fun thing to address in a romance, and something that could actually be useful as a role model for kids, thinking about how you balance your work life and your romantic life. And minor spoilers, but this is another good part in the show. Instead of just dragging out the romance and making will they or won't they the big question, they actually declare their feelings for each other and they become an official couple. So that's nice to see, because it makes the show address some questions of how do you function when you're in a relationship, especially when your social position or your work could be an issue. Feminism in this show, I like how there is a variety of roles for women. They're not all love interests. Shirayuki's boss at work is actually a slightly older, mature woman, like maybe 30 or so. And I like that she has a woman mentor. I feel like the obvious route to go would be to have it as an older guy, like an affectionate uncle character, but no, it's a woman and she has her position and she's smart and she's respected, so I like that. And also one of the guards is a woman and there's not really a huge deal made of that. Someone insults her at one point, and Zen is like, hey, don't insult my friends. But it's just kind of nice to see a world where you can see women in a whole bunch of roles, and that's seen as a good thing because, you know, women all have different personalities, different strengths. And I really do like that our main character has a passion outside of the romance. She has something that she's good at, something that she wants to learn, and she has her own identity. And basically she wants to be an herbalist healer. And that's a really interesting thing to have as your main character's goal. And there's also no, like, cattiness, girl on girl hate. There's no evil woman who wants to take Zen away from Shirayuki just because, and like all that pettiness. So I like that. You know, I like a main female protagonist who has good relationships with other women as well as other men. Also, I like the outfits in this. I like Shirayuki's work outfit. It's just kind of this long white coat, and she's got boots and leggings. It looks super comfy to wear. I could imagine wearing it. And I like that we don't have a whole lot of cleavage and mini skirts like some anime tend to do. The bad points of this is, yes, it is a very light, fluffy piece. The pace is a little bit slower. There's not like a huge conflict arc that goes through the whole first season that ties everything together. It's more these little adventures that slowly build the characters and build their relationships and show their strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. So if that's the kind of thing you like, you'll probably like this show just fine. If you're looking for a lot of action, this probably isn't going to be your thing. Shirayuki is a little bit passive in this. A lot of the conflict does come from some jerkface just deciding to make trouble for her just because, and then the main characters have to react to that rather than the plot being driven by a decision of hers. She really just has this goal of becoming the court herbalist, so she has an official reason to be there, and it's not just because she's the friend of the prince. And she achieves that pretty early, so it's less of a problem with the main character and more of a problem with the writing for me. I would have liked to see a little bit more of the plot hang on her initiative. This is a good show for younger fans because it has a lighter tone and it has a romance that I think will appeal to younger teens and kids. There's nothing bad or gory, no swearing, no nudity in this, so I think this is a fine family-friendly show. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for people who are too new to anime because it's very shoujo. It's very that type of show, and it'll appeal to you more, I think, if you're looking for that rather than if you're like, oh, what is this? So I think maybe for fans of anime who are looking for a fun romance with a couple that really respect each other and care for each other, that you can really root for.